Right guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. In this one I've got a build video for you. This is on a hardtail mountain bike, so I'll go ahead, we'll get into it. Right, so the first job I'm going to be doing is mounting the shifter on to the handlebar, because I want to know what length outer to put on there to get to the down tube, and I need to put the inner all the way through the frame and out the chainstay, because it's internal routed and thus you can only see it there, and at the chainstay you can't see it anywhere in between. So what I'll do, I'll just slide the shifter on, I'll just put a grip on there, temporary, just to get the distance from the for the cable, the length of the cable I need for the outer. Just go ahead and nip that up like so, and then the cable needs to go obviously from your barrel adjuster to your down tube, so you can just hold it in place there like so. It needs to be long enough so as when you turn, it's not, you can still turn the handlebars round both ways and it's not going to interfere with anything. So once you know what length you need, you can just go ahead and snip it down with your cable cutters. So you can snip it to length like so. So once you cut it to length, you can go ahead and make sure that where you cut it to open up the inner there like so. Otherwise there's a pinch point there where you just cut the cable, as you can see there. Show that. You can't even see into it at all where it's just been snipped. So you get a pointed object like so, and just open that back up. Make sure that it's clear inside. There's nothing going to foul it up in there like so, so it's open back up again. So once you've done that, you can go ahead and put your ends on the cable. Now these are sealed ends, up inside they got a rubber in there. So just pop them on like so. It's just a case of getting your end of your cable, putting it through the outer like so. Just pull it all the way through to your shifter, to your barrel adjuster. Pop it up inside your barrel adjuster like that. Then you know you've got the outer cable ready. And then what we've got is inside the down tube and out to the chainstay, plastic tube like so. I've already got that in place, so I know when I put this cable through, it's going to come out the chainstay all the way under the bottom bracket area, because like I said, you can't see it there. So I'll go ahead and get the cable put in. Right, so you can see the tube coming out here, and obviously the bottom bracket there is a metal insert into there, so you can't see anything in there. You can put your finger in there and try and find where the cable's going to go, where that piece of plastic is inside the frame, but you won't be able to find it. So that's why I've got that piece of plastic through, because you'll never get a cable through there without it. So all I'm going to do is put it down through the piece of plastic at the down tube, up by the head tube. I'm just going to push it through like so. Just keep going. It's obviously nearly got to the end, so knowing that it's nearly at the end now, it's somewhere in here, but it's inside this plastic, so all I'll do is push it at one end and just keep pulling it through. Keep pushing the inner cable through and keep pulling out the plastic. And then when I pull off the plastic, the cable will still be in there. There's the cable, like so. So that's the cable installed. Obviously you can put your outer piece on here when you've got the derailleur on. Right, so what I've done is I've got the bottom bracket in there now. That's been installed. Got the chain set in, like so. It's all fitted up. Right, so the next job is we got the cassette, 1051 cassette. This is micro spline, so it's a newer 12-speed version. So I'll just put some grease around there. Just to help stop it getting stuck on to the free hub. So we get the cassette on there, and you've got the last two teeth cogs there, and obviously the lock ring to go on. Now, have you ever seen what they look like? Looks like that, instead of the traditional 11 speed that you're used to. Right, so we got the cassette on there. I'll just put the lock ring on. The lock ring uses the same tool as it did before, so that hasn't changed. So I'll get that back in the bike. Right, so we've got the rear derailleur installed now with the chain on, back wheel back in the bike, got the front chain ring on there, the crank arms as you saw. What I've done is I've just got the front brake just on there temporarily, so I'm going to have to shorten the hose slightly by the looks of it. I've also got to fit the rear brake still, but that's got to run right through the frame and out, and that's all internal. So that's how it's looking so far. Right, so I've got the rear brake here, as you can see, and what I've got to do is that's got to go through the frame, the hose. So what I'll have to do is disconnect it off of the lever to get that pulled through. So what I'll do is I'll pull it through from here down by the brake caliper. I'll just pull the line hose through. So to do that, what I'll do is I'll take it off the lever first, and then I'll show you. Right, so I've got rid of the lever off the end, and now because the nut and the olive won't go through the hole in the frame, so what I'll have to do is just snip this off and then put a new olive and barb in there with the nut on afterwards, after I got it through the frame. So I'll just get this snipped off. Then I'll put a new one in after I pulled it through the frame, so I can get the nut off and the cover, and then pull that through. Right, so I'll place the hose over the wire there, so all I'm going to do is pull it and push from this end and pull from up by the head tube, and I'll just get that all the way through and up. So we have the hose and the wire there out of the frame. So I can go ahead and just keep pushing that through. Now I've got it out, and then I'm at the caliper on this end, mount that up once I've got this through all the way, and then I can trim it to length at the other end when I've got the lever on. So I've got the rear brake in with the hose. That's all hooked up now. Shorten the hose down, bled it up, so it's all working on there. Now what I've got to do is I'll just replace the cable in this in the pop lock for the RockShox fork. Put a new cable into that, and then change the outer cable as well. You see there it's worn through there nearly, so I'll just pop a new one of them in. Right, so now we've undone the cover, so that was a 2.5mm hex head. There's your lever there, like so. That comes off. There's two positions on it for the cable. Got one there and one there, top or the bottom, and then two holes just there where the cable's corresponding cable goes through there. So what I'll do is I'll just get this back in place like so, and then I need to get the cable through, the new cable through. So I'll get that in position like so, and then you need to get it to go through and out the corresponding hole. So it can be quite tricky to do. Better just take the lever down like so and just put it through, and when you know it's through, and you can grab it from the other side, then you put it back on in position like so. You just pull the cable through till it goes the other end, the end stop comes through, goes back in behind the lever like that. So once you've got that in position, then you put your cover back on here, what's holding it together, otherwise it just fall off again. Right, so we're back on the fork end here. So what you want to do is your new cable, so you've threaded it all the way through, round, and then out, and then what you want to do is wrap it right round there and put some tension on it. Make sure the end of the cable's gone in the lever, the other end, and then I'll just do up the grub screw. Just snug that down to position like so. That's tightened up, and you can go ahead then and try your lever, make sure it's working. Right, so we got the lever working there with the new cable. So be careful when you take the cover off the bottom of there, because the small lever there, what returns it, it's got a little spring inside there. So if you don't know that, you take it off and lose that little spring, and the lever won't do anything then without that spring in it. Right, so there's the bike all complete, built up. Like I said, it's a Vitus Rapide 29er hardtail carbon. So we've got, as you see, DT Swiss X1900 wheels on it with Race King Continental 2-inch tyres on there. As you saw, fitted the XT M8100 chain set, 1051 rear cassette on it. Got DMR V12 flat pedals on there. It's a threaded bottom bracket, Shimano BSA bottom bracket. Through axles, 12mm on the rear, 15 on the front. It's got 6000 Shimano calipers and levers at the moment. SRAM 160mm centre line rotor on the front, 180 centre line with the M6000 caliper on the front there. See, same tyre on the front. X1900 DT Swiss wheel on the front as well. There's RockShox fork, like you see. I've got ergon grips on it as well. It's got FSA afterburner stem and handlebar, and an afterburner aluminium seat post at the moment, aluminium bars, aluminium stem, FSA headset. You saw I've done the headset as well. It's had new wheel bearings in the wheels, front and back. Obviously this is 12 speed. So it's got the microspine free hub body, 1051 cassette. It's a 34 front chainring single, obviously 12 speed, 12 speed Shimano chain on it. So that's how the bike's turned out at the moment. Obviously all parts are changed along the way as it goes along. Probably end up with a dropper post in it, some description. So I've only just built it up, I haven't had a chance to ride it yet. So I'll test it out first, see what parts are going to be changed on it. Right, so there's the build of the bike complete. So hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more cycle related content. Till next one, ride safe and I'll see you then.